Oh, I forgot I was here. All right, good morning. Welcome to Manhood. Today is Monday, January, what is it? January 26th. So stoked to be here. I actually don't have the baby this morning. She slept like a rock, and so I just left her with mom to keep sleeping until she needed to wake up. So I'm all alone. I got over one sickness, and now I have some sort of secondary sickness. That is disgusting looking. It's really gross. I'm not going to go down there. We're going to rotate around. Yeah, so we get to freely walk through 1 Samuel 11 today. I'm actually excited. Found some really good information on this one. It blew my mind. We'll see if anyone else is intrigued with it. But talking through commitments yesterday. Ouch. We didn't do much yesterday. What do we do? We went to church. I had to take the kids to church, and that was good. We got to take the baby out to see my parents. That went well as well. Other than that, it was really just hanging out and keeping the baby alive and stuff, you know. But it did go good. Gratitude for the day. What do we got? I am grateful I get to go back to work. I don't remember if I talked about that or not already. But, oops, there's the wrong button. Doesn't know that side. Oh, goodness, I didn't realize. Wow, that did not work out at all. I'm going to go back to work today, which I think will be good. So, looking forward to that, getting back into the swing of things. What else? I'm going to rush through this area. I might cuddle that. See what's up here. Grateful for. That hurt. Ouch. Stay right on this side. That's the best place to stay right there. Okay, I am also... My brain's struggling to pick up this morning. Oh, you know what I'm super grateful for? We have an expedition, and it wasn't perfect, but we were able to fit everybody in there. Like all of our children, 5 of them now, as well as my in-laws and both me and my wife, take them out there. So I was super grateful for that. So it was very nice. Let's think. One more thing we're grateful for. If you're here and you're in the chat, throw out something you're grateful for. What we're called to do is enter course for Thanksgiving. Ouch. What are we doing here? Ouch. Calm down. A lot of somber smithing stones here. Okay, final thing. Let's see. Oh, I'm super grateful. I've been grateful recently for how different each of my kids are. How different their, I don't know, like their style, the way their mind works. They're all very unique. I'm grateful for that. All right. Okay. Careful. Okay, we're going into 1 Samuel chapter 11 today. So many of these handy. What? Oh, I wasn't in his hand. a bad spot. Oh, that didn't work out. Lost it. All right. Okay. 1 Samuel 11. Then Nahash the Ammonite went up to besieged Jabesh Gilead. And all the men of Jabesh said to Nahash, make a treaty with us, and we will serve you. But Nahash the Ammonite said to them, on this condition, I will make a treaty with you, that I gouge out your right eyes, and thus bring disgrace on all Israel. So, pretty mean dude. Not a big fan. It's not very nice of him. Essentially, he's like, yeah, we'll make a treaty, as long as I could cut off all your eyes. So, not good stuff. And I find it interesting that the way they responded and the willingness for them to give them a moment kind of made me laugh. Because they're like, all right, well, the elders of Jabesh, give us 7 days respite so that we may send messengers throughout our territory of Israel. Then, if no one comes to save us, we will give ourselves up to you. So they're like, all right, just give us a few days, and then we'll answer you. And it just makes me laugh that he was just like, all right, yeah, here you go, 7 days. But maybe that was a common gesture back then, I don't know. So, they're given 7 days. And so when messengers came to Gibeah of Saul, they reported the matter in the ears of the prophets. 14th playthrough? Not quite. Probably I played a few times though. Welcome, Slick Crayon. Sweet name. Okay, so it reached Gibeah of Saul. They reported the matter to the ears of the people, and all the people wept aloud. So this is bad news. Bad news. Now, behold, Saul was coming from the field. Hold on, I'm going to be distracted for a second. Wipe out these smaller ones. Today. Oh, come on. I'm done. What's over here? Fire ahead. What's over here? Legit. There's no path ahead. Welcome. And I am rolling poorly right now. Bad. Right. Hold on. Stay at this corner of him. Yeah, see that? Where you gotta be. There we go. We got him. Okay, Saul was coming from the field behind the oxen. And Saul said, what is wrong with the people that they are weeping? So they told him the news of the men of Jabesh. How's it going? What's up? We're reading through 1 Samuel chapter 11. And the Spirit of God rushed upon Saul when he heard these words, and his anger was greatly kindled. Okay, so we're seeing the first, essentially, kingly act of Saul in the story. The Spirit of God is on him, and what does he lead him to do? There we go. Let's just keep moving on. So he took a yoke of oxen and cut them in pieces. So he grabs a whole bunch of cows and is like, all right, here we go. Cuts them all up. And sent them through all the territory of Israel by the hand of the messenger, saying, whoever does not come out after Saul and Samuel, so shall it be done to his oxen. Then the dread of the Lord fell upon the people, and they came out as one man. When he had mustered them at Bezek, the people of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said to the messengers who had come, thus shall you say to the men of Jabesh Gilead, tomorrow By the time the sun is hot, you shall have salvation. When the messengers came and told the men of Jabesh, they were glad. Okay, so they call all the people together. They got a massive group, and he essentially threatens them and is like, what's this? Is there something in there? Oh, yeah, right here. And is like, hey, get out here or else all your oxen are going to be killed. And at this point, so he's been anointed a king, right? He's been anointed by Samuel, but the people haven't necessarily accepted him as their king yet. And so he's not playing out the role of a king at this point. So this is an interesting time where he takes his first kingly act, calls all the people together, and all the people actually listen and come. It's interesting stuff. So, therefore the men of Jabesh said, should I go down here? No, I'm not touching it. The men of Jabesh said, tomorrow we will give ourselves up to you. Ouch. Don't do that. We're going to go into parry mode. Hold on, check this out. Wait for it. Oh, way too early. Ouch. Oh, that did not work. Sorry, guys. It looked terrible. All right. So the men of Jabesh go to the Ammonites, and they're like, hey, tomorrow we'll give ourselves up to you. You may do to us whatever seems good to you. And the next day, Saul put his people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the camp in the morning watch, and struck down the Ammonites until the heat of the day. So a little misleading there. They're like, hey, you can do whatever you want to us. And then they're like, oh, but here's our friends. Peace out. So then they're fighting through the heat of the day. Where are we at? So that no two of... Oh, sorry. And they came into the midst of the camp and struck down the Ammonites to the heat of the day. And those who survived were scattered, so that no two of them were left together. So God sends... It's going great. It's going so good. So God sends his spirit on Saul. Saul calls the people together, and then they are so successful that they've literally just... Beware of circling around. They're literally just... not even 2 people left together of the enemy camp that is so easily overtaken Jabesh Gilead. Then the people said to Samuel, who is it that said, shall Saul reign over us? So last chapter, yesterday, for those of you who weren't here, Saul is anointed king, and some of the people literally say exactly what he's saying here. They're like, what's up with Saul reigning over us? Why does he, like... Man, that is so hard to dodge those. Alright. Hold on. The wall's getting in my way. Okay, we got it. We got the time. Got him. That's what we need right there. Okay, so they're like, hey, who said that? Bring that man, that we may put him to death. But Saul said, not a man shall be put to death this day, for today the Lord has worked salvation in Israel. So here's something that like really struck me as I was reading this, is we see throughout the rest of the story... Ouch, that hurt. That was a terrible swing. Hold on. Throughout the rest of the story, we see that like Saul really falls apart toward the end of it. Okay, we can parry. But here at the beginning, he shows true trust and belief in God, and true humility as well. Like the Saul that we see later on, after David's been anointed, this guy would have definitely killed these people, right? They questioned him. They were like, hey, he doesn't deserve to be king. And here we see a very, very different Saul. Someone was like, listen, no, the Lord gave us this battle, which is something he stopped saying. Man, that feels like I'll die if I drop down there. I feel like I should drop off that one over there. He stops giving God the glory later on, but right now, he's deep in it. He's like, hey, no, this is the Lord that did this for us. And Samuel said to the people, come, let us go to Gilgal, and there renew the kingdom. So the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord at Gilgal. And they sacrificed the peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. So super cool story. There's something, though, that struck me as I was going through this, And it was that Saul, the Spirit of God comes on him and he starts cutting up the oxen. What struck me is I was like, man, this reminds me and sounds a lot like. That is terrible. That was terrible. Sorry, guys. It reminded me of the story, and I had to look up where this was at. But in Judges 19 through like 21, there's the story, and it's Gibeah's crime. And essentially, this guy comes into town, into Gibeah to visit, and the people of Gibeah have completely, essentially rejected God. They're doing horrible, horrible, heinous things. And they essentially go and try to like beat the door down to get access to the guy, to essentially abuse him in unspeakable ways. And then have their way with him, do whatever they want to him. And so they end up getting a hold of his concubine, and they get a hold of her, and they abuse her in unspeakable ways until she dies, until she literally falls down dead. And she's on the doorstep. She dies. That guy picks her up, and then he cuts her to pieces. This is terrifying, dark stuff. He cuts her to pieces and sends her body parts through all of Israel to call Israel together to bring judgment and discipline upon the town of Gibeah, right? So they all come together, this entire town, and they come together. Sorry, not the entire town. The whole all the tribes of Israel come together, and they go and essentially wipe out the people of Gibeah, the Benjaminites. Yeah, the Benjaminites. They come together there and they wipe out that whole group, right? So they're like, hey, this heinous thing that you've done, totally unacceptable. We've got to wipe you out. So they go and can I jump across this? Yeah. They go and wipe them out. And what does it say? We love creating designs, smart games. I'm not interested in that. Thank you, though. And there's one group that doesn't show up with them. There's one group that doesn't show up, and it doesn't show up to go out and like bring this justice that God once brought. And so this other group ends up in judgment as well. They go out after them, and they do the same thing to them because they did not come out to help the people and bring justice to those that were abused. And that group in Judges 21, it says, behold, not one of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead was there. So we have this story in Judges just a couple hundred years earlier where you have Gibeah. Ooh, this is cool. Is this an intelligence thing, though? Yeah, that's a high... Oh, intelligence and faith. That's crazy. That's... Okay, so you have this story where Gibeah is the one who sinned, right? Gibeah is the one sinning. They're the ones who are earning justice and judgment on themselves. And then you have Jabesh Gilead who ends up in judgment as well because they are not listening to what God has said either. They did not come out to help the people of Israel bring justice. And so you have these two groups that end up in total judgment and total discipline through this thing, and they're essentially almost completely wiped out. They have to like pull people together to go and keep the Benjamite tribe alive and make sure that they can keep on going. And then you see this reflective story here. This is where it gets really deep. Saul is of Gibeah. So Saul, the guy that God sends his spirit on to send out these pieces of oxen, before the pieces were being sent out in judgment of Gibeah, now there's like this whole redemptive arc of Gibeah, the Benjamin clan, and Saul, right? All three of them being pulled together and now being used to bring about God's justice on his oppressors, the people who are bringing him shame. And it's very similar, right? They're calling the people together because they're like, hey, we're going to gouge out these people's eyes and bring disgrace on all Israel. And that's what Gibeah did back then. They were bringing disgrace upon Israel through the actions that they took. And now it's an enemy that's come in to Jabesh Gilead, the same town that did not show up to bring justice on God's people earlier. He's now utilizing Gibeah and the Benjaminites, the people who were brought this on, who he had brought his judgment on before, redeeming them and utilizing them for the salvation of a tribe that did not come to his call when he called for them. So we're seeing, yes, the ascension of Saul into kingship, but what we're also seeing is the story of God's character of redemption and use of people who don't deserve it, and then salvation of people who don't deserve it as well. The same story that we have as for us as Christians, right? This is exactly what God does with us, is he uses broken and messed up people who have abandoned and not lived for him for the sake of his glory. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was super cool. Man, I'm getting good at this parrying thing. Did he die? Yeah, he died. So that was super interesting to me. We see a whole kind of backlog of information that I don't think was... Ouch. There we go. Heal up on that. There we go. Come on. Alright, Lucaria Greaves, that's cool. Okay, well we are back at it today. We actually have a stuff to do, so I've got to make actual commitments. Anyone coming from behind or just in front? I feel like that was mine. This should have worked. Okay, we're all right. We're all right. Let's try again. Swing at me again. Come on. Thank you. We're getting better at it. We're getting better. Let's keep on going. Oh, okay, so I'm going to... I don't know if I'm going to get a full 250 grams of protein in today. I don't know that I have enough food for that right now. If I can get it, a hold of it, I will. I also want to stick to 2,500 calories or less today. I want to get a workout in because I have not gotten a workout in all last week with the birth of our baby. So those are my main ones. I would like to... Man, there's a lot of... No. All right. Oh, goodness. I think this is going to go well for me. Let's move. Oh, wrong way to roll. All right. I'm not going to DM you in Discord. I'm good. I appreciate the offer, though. I have a lot of people offer me that. And I don't have any viewers either, which is what's interesting. Okay, I do want to read and pray with my wife this morning before I head into work. I want to work well and as under the Lord. And, yeah, I want to make sure that I have our daily devotional with our children as well. So those are my main commitments today. Ouch. Please be like a site of grace. What does this say? Grace Center. Okay. Think again. There we go. We're good. All right. I think that's about it. What time is it right now? 6 o'clock. I started late, too. This is a short chapter, though. Should we go try to find the boss? I feel like we're getting close to where the boss is. Maybe we'll kill the boss before we get off. Those. Wolf. I need this seed over here. There we go. 14th playthrough. Oh, this is a strong wolf. Ouch. You parry wolf's faces? Still haven't gotten a bleed off. There we go. Melissa, what do you got? What are your commitments for the day? You're still here. Look at that. I'm going to go over here. Oh, I almost fell in a hole. Hello. And I'm ahead. Here we go. Peace. Thanks. That guy's helpful right there. We're sneaking through. I know you could do that. Is that a perfumer? Oh, too early. That didn't go well. Wake up. Roll out. Got him. That's what we needed. Sad. Who's appearing? I feel like that should have... There we go. We got him. Right. It's going well. This be jumping? Oh, no. I want to go... Feels like I'm going to get stuck down there. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. There we go. We got him. Oh, you're not my friend? Oh, man. Ouch. I need one of you at a time. Also, where is this awesome, great item that I'm supposed to get from them? It doesn't do much. Alright, I'm gonna feed all the jar children as well. Ouch. Alright. Got him. Got him. Here's an item over here. Is it any good, though? Nope. And I keep getting lower where I'm going to can't get back up. I don't... It feels like I made a mistake, but I don't think I did. I think you're supposed to do this. There you go. We got some Erdleaf flowers, so that'll make it all worth it in the end. Ouch. Oh. This area doesn't feel like what the worthless... Oh, man. They're coming after me. Where do we go? Ouch. He floats through the air. Oh, down over here. Okay. Everybody calm down. It's going to be all right. Will they drop off this after me? I think they will. Oh. Is this it? Is this where the cool thing is? Oh, no, not really. It's about as cool as it gets, though, I guess. So I gotta run through that entire area again. All right. Oh, that's fun. Oh, no. This is where I wanted to be. We're good. Oh, you're good. Out. Oh, that's not where it is. Hold on. It's over here. Up here. Oh, no. Fell in a hole. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I just jumped in a hole again. I was trying to jump to the edge of it and then jump over it. All right. Third time's a charm. Here we go. Got it. Here we go. All right. We're at 6:07, so I got like 3 minutes. I don't know if that's going to work. Essentially got to make it over to, what's her name? The horse riding lady. Oh, man, dude. Wow. Oh, no. How did he see me? Run up here. Don't even mess around. Let's just get in there. All right. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, bad roll. Pull it in. Roll. Oh, it took all the damage. All right, here we go. Let's get in there. Keep her focused. Oh, man, I feel like I'm rolling through that pretty well. We need to roll into it, though. All right. Got that. Ooh, some follow-up. Uh-oh. 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 We're all right. Let's get in there. Uh-oh. I don't know what that does. That was scary. You really can't. You don't have any time to, like... Okay, that was a little rough. All right, I'm hopping off for today. We'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll be going through 1 Samuel chapter 12. So that'll be good. Hope you guys have a good day. Keep Christ center focus of your life. Guiding you through your day, nothing else. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, yeah, bye.